All right, welcome back. Now, last night, after I completed my live stream, after the other Crusaders fell asleep, I crept into enemy territory alone, as I like to do. And I hopped in a time machine and traveled back to my channel, 2020. Because these people, as I speak, are saying that we're still dealing with pandemic puppies that never got socialized. Midway through 2024, they're still saying this. They're still saying that because the dogs were not socialized within the first 16 weeks of life. How long is 16 weeks? 4 weeks to a month. Okay, 4, 8, 12, 16. 4 months. So, what are they suggesting took place during the pandemic? Can any of you guess that? They're suggesting that every single dog that people acquired during 2020 was a small newborn puppy. That's the only way what they're saying could be true. The only way for them to blame the pandemic is if all of the dogs acquired during the pandemic were newborns. How many of you think that that is what happened? Is that even realistic for any time period? Do you think there's ever been a time where everybody in the country acquired a newborn puppy? Let's get real. And what I want to ask the dog lovers, why are y'all such liars? I'm sick. I was about to name this stream. Something had to do with y'all's lying so often. So even though I'm focusing on the pandemic lies, I am talking about y'all's lies in general. It's overboard. It's criminal at this point. Now let's travel back in time, people. Remember what they're saying about the pandemic. They're saying just what I explained to you. First 16 weeks, where was the dogs in the first 16 weeks allegedly? Inside of a home with a family. And you telling me that they at that time were not being socialized? Nonsense. They were being socialized by the people within those households. Let's go a little further. I want y'all to go to my old channel, my original channel. And I want you to scroll and look at all the videos that I produced in 2020. And you tell me, hey, let me give you an example. This surfaced June 2nd, 2020. Y'all remember this?
News leader, this is KLFY News 10 at 6.
Thanks for joining us. A 4-year-old girl is recovering tonight after she was attacked by her neighbor's dog. The girl's mother and father had to fight off the dog to save their child. News 10's Elise Corville spoke to the girl's father about the horrific incident. And we do have a warning for you. Some of the images may be disturbing to some viewers. This is a story you'll see only on News 10.
4-year-old Ali Dudding was playing outside when she was violently attacked by a neighbor's dog.
Playing outside? You mean people were outside in 2020? You mean the dog did have a chance to see new people and other animals? Okay.
Dog.
There's a lot of blood, and her forehead was just sliced.
Oh, whoa, Lord. Why would they just show that? Sorry about that. This is what I want y'all to remember. Y'all remember I reported on this? This dog that came from out of nowhere. You see it right here?
Allie Dudding and her brother were playing out.
Rushed right up to the, I guess it's like a gazebo. Y'all remember I reported on this? Because that dog
Outside Monday.
came straight up and faced this little girl before attacking her in the face. When it approached her, as you can see, Lord, look at it. She's facing it right now. That mutt. Oh, what do you know? There's people outside. There's people outside, huh?
Allie Dudding and her brother were playing outside.
How crazy is that? Now, I don't want you to focus on this attack. I didn't even know that they had that girl's photo unedited on there like that. I would just want to get y'all to remember what 2020 was like. There were still people going outside in 2020. Don't give me that. There were people outside. You could be on your front lawn. People were visiting each other in 2020. What are you talking about? They were holding UFC events in 2020. People were hopping in their cars, driving to stadiums. This idea that dogs were cooped up in houses for 4 months, 6 months, and couldn't see anybody other than the people living inside the home, which would it serve the people inside the home, is adequate. That's enough people to serve to condition the mutt. All it needs to learn is that people are not going to hurt it. In most households, you got 2, 3, 4, 5 people or more. And you got people, don't tell me, I was visiting people during the pandemic. Didn't some of you go over somewhere? Probably not immediately, not when it first happened, but after a few days, they're like, oh, okay, put on the mask, da, da, da. I'm not hearing this, but let's go a little further. Do y'all remember this video? It's still available on my original channel.
Of this article.
I produced this in 2020. I want y'all again, go back to my original channel. And I want you to do exactly what I'm going to show you here. Follow these steps. Click videos. Now you can go from either direction, but I suggest you click oldest first. See that? 7 years ago. Keep going until you see 4 years ago. And look at the videos that I uploaded in 2020. What were we talking about that year, people? Think. Wasn't I reporting on the fact that dog attacks are increasing? Wasn't I? Here's the video that I have now. It was produced in 2020, June 2020. What does it say? Dog attacks on the rise. Because what? Those dogs were inside of those homes attacking the people inside of those homes, which means they were not puppies. They were not little tiny dogs. Do you agree or not? So they were not the age where they needed to be socialized. They were beyond that stage. And look at the videos I produced. Attacks on the rise. I reported pit bull attacks baby in Milwaukee. 2020. This was one of those current events videos. This also is the video I just showed. Y'all remember I did this. So far, it's got 10,000 views. 2020, people were outside. Does this look like a pandemic puppy to you? No. So the attack increase is the result of more dogs, period. Has nothing to do with the pandemic at all. If anything, the pandemic should have served to make them more social and less likely to attack people, seeing that they're spending so much time around people. You figure out, we're not here to hurt you, dumb mutt. Let me calm down. Let me smile during this so I can keep myself in good spirits. Now, these are all the videos that I produced in 2020. I don't know why this one is here. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, all the ones I produced in 2020. Now, let's move on. Do y'all remember this video? It's called COVID Increases Dog Attacks / Disease. We don't need to go through. I've documented everything already. And honestly, my channel should be used as a reference point because I was doing something nobody else was doing. Documenting these attacks and putting them in one area. Now, listen to this.
Coronavirus restrictions lead to increase in dog bites is the title of this article. Now, the first sentence says, apparently some dogs do miss their alone time.
What? Let's go full screen. Say that again. Read it. This was published April 27th, 2020. Deep into lockdown. Remember, lockdown started January, February. In March, early March. Y'all remember that? March, April. This is only like 1 month after the complete lockdown. Dog attacks had already been reported to have skyrocketed. You telling me some tiny little puppies was carrying this out? This is the result of them acquiring fully grown dogs from shelters. You remember the reports from the shelters, they were saying, we're cleared out. There are several shelters who ran out of dogs. So what is y'all talking about? What is y'all talking about? Those puppies couldn't get socialized, so they were sitting in the home just being unsocialized, shaking and trembling. And then when lockdown was over, you saying they started launching attacks? Get out of here.
So as you see right away, they try to create a defense for dogs, right? They want to set the tone right away that these attacks are not because dogs are predators, dogs are violent, dogs are dogs, but because dogs are stressed out and they miss their alone time.
Miss their alone time. They were saying that dogs did not want to be around people. Why are you preaching that people socialize their dogs, bring them around new people when all they do is attack those new people, attack those strange people? Just let the dog keep attacking them until they decide they don't want to anymore? Remember the excuses / lies they were giving us back then. Look at what this says. The beloved Rovers and Maxes of the world are not immune to the stresses of pandemic. Listen to that. They said one of the issues is that children and adults, for that matter, are home more. That should serve to socialize them, I would think, right? You're telling people, hey, bring them around people, and then all the dog does is attack them. That's not helping. The only way that could help is if every time that dog became aggressive with strange people, those strange people corrected it using aggression, because that's the only thing these dumb mutants understand. Remember, they were saying this. They were saying, obviously, we all are. As a result, there's an increase of stress for dogs trying to cope. Trying to cope with what? With people being there? People, keep in mind that when these people leave dogs alone, the dogs flip out, go crazy. They call it separation anxiety, suggesting that the dog wants to be in its pack. They want people in the home. And when it's convenient for these people, they'll say, oh, that stresses them out. On one hand, being around a bunch of people stresses them out. On the other, oh, they love it because they're pack animals. They want to get to know their family. Why are you dog culture members such liars? Why do y'all lie? All y'all do is lie, lie, lie. You never feel guilty about it. And when you want to cover it up, you use more lies. While more time at home has meant more interactions with dogs, naturally increasing the chances of a bite. Well, I thought the dog was getting used to them. But you're telling us now, no, it means it's going to bite you. It's tired of seeing you. Tired of being around you. Make up y'all's mind. That's why I say y'all not professionals. We took your stripes. That other dog trainer who would pixel and blur out his corrections of the dog, I know for a fact he not only follows this channel, he's made a few response videos. And to be honest, I got a little more respect for the trainers who understand that the only thing dogs understand is aggression. And the way they deal with dogs do so decrease the chances that the dog will attack them personally. But I digress. Okay, they are being hypocritical. They're contradicting themselves. Off-leash walking has also played a role in there being more dog bites. No. All animals are off-leash. Don't blame the fact that it's off-leash for the attack. Blame its bloodthirsty, mutated brain. While exercising your dogs is excellent for their physical and mental health, it is imperative that people leash their dogs everywhere, except that, see, during the pandemic, they were blaming the fact that the dogs were off leash and that they were around people too often. They said off-leash dogs are a huge source of problems, including bites. No, the fact that these are deranged, bloodthirsty, violent mutants is the huge source of problems. The fact that you need it tied up in restraint at all times proves that. Why do y'all lie so much? Why are y'all so dishonest? If you ask me, it's inhumane to lie this much and to not feel nothing about it. So, the pandemic, Oh, the lockdown. They're telling us because the dogs did not see.
The animal world now, a vicious dog attack caught on camera, getting lots of attention.
Oh, man. They're saying that because the dogs did not see other people and other animals, that it did what during the pandemic? We're going to have to make this make sense. What were they doing? During the pandemic, the majority of people bitten were people who lived inside the home. So y'all telling us that because the dog didn't see people outside the home, because the dog never saw strange new people, it decided to attack the people that it sees every single day of its worthless life? Most people attacked are people who live inside the home. Make up your mind. Okay? And I'm going to keep pushing this. We are the only experts on this planet. I dare any one of you certified behaviorists or whatever you are to challenge me on that. Go ahead and ruin your reputation and challenge me on that.
On social media. It happened yesterday morning on Colorado Street here in Corpus Christi. A nearby resident says 2 aggressive dogs were attacking another dog, and animal control personnel say it's a good reminder for other pet owners all around the city. A warning here, the story does contain disturbing video. Our Madeline Dart reports.
Get the hell away from him! Melissa Rios and her daughter watching this scene from their driveway, documenting the attack to report it to animal control.
Now it's blurred out. They censored it. But this is 2 dogs attacking another. And this happened in 2020. What does that mean? That means people were outside walking their dogs. Oh, yes, you were allowed to walk your dog. Don't lie to me. It may have been a little short while, nobody go outside, something like that. But I always remember going outside. I wasn't staying in this apartment 24/7. But I want you to look at this news report. This is what happened when you try to socialize these mutts. All they do is want to attack the other dogs that they see. So what are you talking about? What are y'all talking about? Y'all just a bunch of liars. And I have to point this out because it's therapeutic for me and others to point out lies. It's a natural pleasure for human minds. Y'all remember this? This surfaced in 2020. Oh yeah. We're going back to the future today. Let's go, Marty. You see the title, All Dogs Adopted from the Shelter. Really? Are we supposed to assume they were all tiny little puppies?
Shelter says all the dogs under their care now have foster families.
And wait
Isn't
a minute.
that great to hear?
Wait a minute. If the lockdown provides an inadequate environment for dogs in their first 16 weeks, why didn't y'all refuse to adopt those dogs out because of the pandemic? When they came for a dog, why didn't you just say, oh, well, we can't adopt out the puppies because they need to be socialized. You're going to need to go outside and visit others. So we can't adopt out those dogs. Okay, so what are you going to do with them? Well, we're going to keep them here at the shelter so that they can look at us every day, all day, just like they would inside of your home. What y'all say makes no sense. If it's so important that they're socialized within the first 16 weeks, then why not put all the dogs down that were either not socialized or that you're uncertain of? Those dogs that you just find somewhere. They should be euthanized because you have no idea what happened in the first 16 weeks. And if what they'll do is launch unprovoked attacks, then putting them down is worth it. These things ain't valuable to our planet anyways.
They are asking for more donations so they can be ready to take.
Of course they're asking for more donations. And nobody looks at them as scammers. No matter how often they ask for donations, not one person looks at them as con artists and scammers, even though they're doing a complete disservice to the community. That's why they get donations. Because they're doing a disservice and getting people hurt and killed. Completely backwards planet.
So they can be ready to take care of more pets. The front desk is closed, but pet experts say this is
receiving donations so they could take care of more dogs. So that people, the general public, is giving you money and you're buying dog food and you're begging them to adopt them so they can. No. Nothing but a waste of resources.
Is closed, but pet experts say this is one of the most important times to support animal shelters.
A lot of the shelters are already overwhelmed as
and then y'all complain after the people come and adopt them. You all desperate to get them adopted out, and then you blame the people who adopted them. Oh, it wasn't socialized. You knew there was a lockdown.
And then on top of that, we have people surrendering and no dogs getting it.
She looked like this is like a scar almost. Did you get bitten by a dog somewhere, sometime in your life, ma'am? I wouldn't doubt it.
Dogs getting adopted out.
Yeah, we don't want to hear that. Over 100.
Yeah, we do want to hear that. We do want to hear that they're not getting adopted out. In fact, I want to hear that you're putting them down. Stop wasting our resources. What are you talking about?
Animals were adopted over the course of just the week.
Wait, how many? In a week? How many?
Just the week. Over 100 animals were adopted.
Over 100 in a week at one shelter. These were not all puppies. They had already been socialized. Dog culture is just full of nothing but a bunch of liars. And they're such habitual liars.
Throughout the pandemic, we have had to...
Shut up. They are such habitual liars. They feel no shame, no guilt, nothing at all. Now look at this. Y'all remember this? Dogs adopted during pandemic are being brought back now that people won't be home. Listen to this.
Throughout the pandemic, we have had to literally change protocols and intake every other week.
First, the COVID-fueled dog adoption boom.
Dogs really came through. People wanted to foster, they wanted to adopt. It made them feel good, and it also gave the dogs a home.
Christina Rinaldi of Detroit Dog Rescue says slowly but surely adoption applications declined.
Now, unfortunately, we have the problem of people who adopted wanting to return the pets, or our fosters are going back to work and they don't know what their immediate future is going to be with their work schedule, so we're losing a lot of our fosters.
It's become such an issue, they're keeping about 20 spots vacant at their Detroit shelter as fosters fold and pups are returned.
It's so hard on these dogs to come back to the shelter once they've been in a home.
Oh, sure. No, it's not. They're receiving free food the whole time. These dogs don't care about nothing as long as you idiot humans keep forking over food. They're too dumb. They're not sophisticated enough to be upset going to a new environment. Dumb dog doesn't know it was in a home. They don't have no understanding of a home. Don't know the difference between a home and a shelter.
Once they've been in a home.
If you're in flux with work as the state rolls back workplace restrictions, Christina says don't think you can adopt.
I crate my own dog when I'm gone for an extended period of time. So we are not one of the rescues that says if you work, you can't adopt. That just...
Whoa. You crate your dog and leave it there alone for extended periods of time? That's not good socializing, is it? Is it? They're all over the place. So you're saying it's good for them to adopt the dog, take them out of your shelter, and then leave them at home by themselves? They ridicule people who do that, who leave dogs home by themselves, especially inside of a crate. They get constant ridicule. But she turned heel on that and suggested it. They do whatever, say whatever they want when it's convenient for them. And they contradict themselves all the time.
Just doesn't make any sense.
Fosters are needed now, and foster homes come in all shapes and sizes.
No. Smoke them. Put them down.
We have people that like to travel. We have a trucker that fosters for us, and this dog has traveled to many different states in his truck and has the time of his life. Everything kind of fits. We probably have a match for you at Detroit Dog Rescue.
If you really have no other options, the best option is to get your pet safely back to a shelter. Jessica Dupnack.
Get it safely back to a shelter. Why do y'all lie so much? I want to know, dog lovers, why y'all lie so much. Pretty ridiculous. And y'all never get called out on it. I get accused of being a man of poor character all the time. But you all who lie, who do nothing but lie, you're looked at as the pillars of society. This surfaced towards the end of 2020, August 12th, 2020. They were still talking about how adoptions were going up. But notice how they said shelters and breeders. Now, if I'm not mistaken, when you get a dog from a breeder, it's usually a puppy. And they made sure it's been, well socialized and all of that. Now I want to show y'all something. Dog lovers, look at this. Why do y'all lie so much? It's not acceptable. Y'all remember this video? The title is Shelter Dog Realizes He's Been Adopted. No, it hasn't. We all know dogs are not intelligent enough to know what adoption is. They don't have no understanding of adoption. You know what that excitement is? Food. When you stand outside of their cage like that, you usually open it and give it food. Why are you playing dumb and being disrespectful to us as if we're dumb, as if we don't know better? This is classic conditioning, like the Pavlov dog. Every day of this thing's worthless life, you come give it food. So it has associated you, humans, standing outside that cage as, oh, it's time to eat. And that's all this is. But because it was convenient for you all, you tried to say this is actually excitement because it knew it was about to be adopted. You see what they're writing? This dog is about to have his biggest wish come true. Dogs don't wish. They can't wish. This thing is desperate to eat. Nothing else, nothing more. But y'all are constantly lying. And they used this whole moment just to pile on a bunch of lies. Bunch of lies. Look at what else they write. Yeah, look at this. His beautiful eyes were staring at the door. With a hopeful look on his face. Wishing someday would be the day of freedom. These are all lies. And y'all think it's okay. It's cute. Now, if you look, we as humans, we understand facial expressions. But this is just a regular expression on the dog's face. But to many of us, it looks like it's sad and hopeful and all these things that she's writing down here. But we all know it's a flat out lie. And this is the norm in dog culture. Dog culture is to lie and lie and lie and lie. Look, as the door opens, he's getting more excited because his thing is about to eat. That's why I keep licking its lips. He immediately starts wagging it. It's been wagging its tail the whole video. More lies, just constant lies. This thing thinks it's about to eat. He seems extremely confused. They write, no, it doesn't. It always behaves like this when y'all about to feed it, and y'all know it. But they're all about lying, being dishonest, making stuff up. Look, terrified to approach staff at first. No, he wasn't. Now, what is it doing right now? These things are so deformed, man. Lord, dog lovers, look at this. He senses something amazing waited for him. No, that dog is just dumb and it don't sense nothing but food. It is not thinking like a human. What do y'all tell the truth about? You conceal the history of these things. If they have a violent history, you lie and conceal it. Exactly what are y'all honest about? Are y'all honest about anything? Or do y'all just lie about everything? Even if I was into dogs, I wouldn't want to get them because I'd have to deal with a bunch of dishonest people who lie nonstop. And this is just the tip of the iceberg, as we all know. You get into the behaviors, the trainers, so-called experts, they do nothing but lie, especially when it's about dog attacks to the younger generation, which is the most attacked demographic. See, the more serious the situation, the more lies they throw out. Just a lying factory, nonstop. Dog lovers, why do you lie so much? Why? It's because these things are so horrible, despicable, disgusting, annoying, unwanted. They make you want to take them right back. Look at it. They make you want to take them right back. Who would want a pet behaving like this? A deformed, deranged, neurologically fried mutant acting wild and crazy like this. Who would want something like this? Again, y'all are immoral for keeping these things on this earth, being this dysfunctional. And what they're going to do is put this dog on some type of medication or something, and then prance around and say, oh, look how well behaved it is. Get out of here. From therapy dogs, service dogs, all we deal with from y'all is lies and dishonesty. And then on top of this wild, crazy behavior, they stop every 10 seconds to shake and spread their filth everywhere. Nothing but excrement factories. Disgusting and annoying. The truth is so plain. If you ask me at this point, something's wrong with you. If you're not turned off by these things, you need to get your head checked. Shout out to everybody able to join me. And I hope you can join me on the next as we continue with this crusade.